What's up, brother? If you are trying to get lean by following these crazy restricted diets, you are setting yourself up for failure. You do not need more complexity to get lean. You need simplicity. You need something that you will follow on a consistent basis for long enough to be able to achieve your goal. And you do not want to get to 10% body fat and then balloon up. You want to be able to get to 10% body fat and then sustain it for a long period of time and make that your new baseline. Because when you do that, everything else in life becomes easier. If you are able to maintain a respectable physique, people will respect you more. You will respect yourself more. You will believe in yourself to be able to go after bigger goals because when you look in the mirror, you're reminded of yourself of the man that you built. And so, yes, getting lean is king, whatever people say nowadays. But the way the fitness industry tries to teach you to be able to get there is absurd. You do not need to track every little calorie that you put onto your plate. You do not need to pull out MyFitnessPal every single time you want to sit down and eat. You do not need to pull out the scale every single time you want a cup of yogurt. You need a process that makes it almost harder for you to fail at than for you to stick to it. Because when you do that and you make it so unbelievably easy, then getting lean becomes inevitable because now you have a system to rely on whenever your emotions start to get weak. You don't allow yourself to fall into those small cravings, and it's not as hard for you to be able to combat them because you're still able to eat the foods that you enjoy. You are not completely cutting yourself off from the things that you enjoy within life. And so, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the simplest nutrition protocol that I have ever followed that has actually allowed me to get lean and stay lean for a long period of time. Because I have tried over the past 13 years all of the different diets. I have tried doing dirty bulks and then crazy restrictions where I pretty much measure every single thing I put on my plate and I have to cut off all the fat that I gain wasn't sustainable. I have tried cutting out carbs entirely and then just forcing myself to only eat meat. All of these different things that you see online that say that it's supposed to help you get there. And it never does because it's not sustainable. If you cut out carbs completely, you don't have enough energy to be able to show up the way that you need to throughout your day. You're not present whenever you're talking to your family because you are starving and you just feel flat also. So it doesn't even help your physique. And so in this video, again, I will walk you through the simplest nutrition protocol that you can follow for you to be able to get lean. And it's broken down literally into two steps. You have to know what to eat and when to eat it. And what to eat is important because you must be able to put the right fuel into your body or the vehicle to be able to get you to your destination. When to eat it, you must do it at a time that does not take away from your pursuits, that does not make you have crazy brain fog that doesn't steal you from being present when you need to. And so we're going to first start off by talking about what to eat, and then we'll go down the avenue of when to eat it. And so whenever I'm thinking about what to eat, I follow these four rules because they drive 90% of the results. The first one is plan your meal around whole foods. You should be eating mainly chicken, yogurt, rice, different things like that to be able to get your calories in throughout the day. The second one is you should stay away from ultra processed foods. Like try and eat it in its most natural source. Don't fry everything. Don't be going to fast food places and eating the things that you know that you shouldn't. The third one is use the 80-20 rule whenever you eat. If you go out to eat or anything along those lines, you should eat healthy 80% of the time, and then you can leave 20% of the time for you to be able to have a small snack or something like that. You don't need to restrict yourself from eating everything that you enjoy. You just have to learn how to do it in moderation. And the last one is going to be prioritizing protein. Protein is the most important thing whenever it comes to building an aesthetic physique because that's how you're going to be able to put on muscle and sustain muscle. And so if you want to get lean, you want to build that aesthetic physique, you need to be able to prioritize protein as well. And now, whenever we talk about when to eat it, the reason why this is important is because as somebody who's in a high position of influence, whether you're in sales, whether you're in recruiting, whether you're an entrepreneur or something like that, the last thing you should be doing is having to digest a bunch of carbs and calories whenever you're supposed to be focusing. And so the way that I have all of my clients with inside of the shift program set up their meal timing is in a way that goes with their day instead of against it. And what I mean by that is for you to be able to perform within the gym, you have to fuel your body properly. For you to be able to perform within work, you have to fuel your body properly. And the way you do that is by eating around your heavy work blocks, and so that you can still have the focus that you need and the clarity that you need to be able to show up, help the people that you need to help, make the impact that you need to make, but also be able to have the calories and the energy to be able to show up within the gym, push heavy weights, and be able to like progressive overload and like move forward towards your goals. And so with meal timing, what you should do is instead of waking up, having big breakfasts, different things along those lines, you should restrict your eating window. And you do that by pushing back the time that you begin to eat. You should essentially look at your day and say like, hey, this is the most important thing that I have to get done, and then push your first meal back until you're done with that. So typically, I'll give you an example of how my day works. I wake up at 4:30. I do my align and design process, align myself with the highest version of myself so that I can attack my day the proper way. Go down, I do cardio, and then I come up and I do my creative block. And I don't eat anything. I typically have my first meal around 11 or 12, and it's always the same thing. And then go into my next workout block or work block, and then I go into a workout afterwards because I work out 2 times per day. And then I have a big meal at the end of the day. And so, like, what this does is it allows me to still be able to get all of my carbs, fats, like proteins in, but like I have it all in like one big meal towards the end of the day, so that whenever I am working in the morning, it's like my brain is clear. I'm not having to think about like my stomach messing up or anything along those lines. Like I am able to completely focus on the thing that I have at hand. And then it still allows me to be able to have the calories that I need to perform within the gym because I don't do my heavy workout session until I have that small meal. That small meal is going to mainly be around like a protein source, like eggs, like a protein shake. And then I go into my workout so that like I still have some energy in me to be able to continuously push. And so, like, if you follow these two things, the what to eat and the when to eat it, it makes it so simple. Like, you don't have to pull out a scale. You don't have to do this. Like, you have to know how much to eat, and then you have to be able to eat in that realm. And, like, you should have somebody that can help you with that, or you should already know, like, how much to eat and have, like, a good guide around, like, your maintenance and, like, how like depending on what your goal is, like let's say you're trying to bulk or you're trying to cut, you should already know how to do that, or if not, you should have somebody in your corner that can help you. If you don't know that process, then what I can do is I can send you over a guide, and then in that guide it'll help you be able to understand your maintenance calories, how you should attack going into a cut, how you should attack going into a slow bulk so that you're not putting on a ton of fat, and then you can use that to be able to implement these two things. But if you get the what and the when down right, you make it extremely easy to be able to follow along with this thing. You do not need all of these crazy different steps and protocols, and you don't have to measure every single thing you eat. You need to have a repeatable process that makes it unbelievably simple for you to be able to stick to it so that you can achieve your goals and stick to it long enough for you to be able to sustain like what you want within life, because again you don't want to get to 10% body fat suffer the whole way and then just completely blow up your progress. You want to be able to get to 10% body fat and sustain it for a long period of time without feeling as if you are struggling, as if you are suffering the entire time. And so, again, if you want a guide around how you can break down your macros, just let me know. I can send it over to you. And then you can use that as like a stepping stone into like being able to use these two. But like you should either have somebody that helps you with this process, or like you should already just like know what to eat and then just follow it. So like if you follow the four things and then you use the meal timing, it makes it unbelievably simple. So, all right, brother, I'll see you in the next one, and I'll talk to you soon.